Oh,
right.
there's humans on the internet, maybe watching us, hopefully.
That's us live, folks. Hi, and welcome back to the Horror Beyond site, the first season of our horror action urban fantasy game based off of the Monsters of the Week system. I am your keeper for this session. My name is DM Schmeier. This is my lovely cast, and we're back after a week off that I should apologize for. I am an attorney in my day job, and I got a rather significant load of work dropped right on my plate before last week's stream, and I had to push it. So thank you, everybody, but in particular, thank you to the cast for understanding. I try not to do that often. It's the first time I've had to do that in 2022. Sometimes that's just how stuff goes.
How dare you have a job?
Yeah, I know, right?
Sack of responsibility.
I know. How dare I?
If you'd have planned things better and been born early, you could have been retired now, like me.
Yeah. Loser.
Yes. Need to, so what you're saying is we need to hold my parents accountable.
Someone has got to track those monsters down.
Exactly. I needed to be around many, many, many years before this. All right. So where we left off our last session, we had a sort of triple threat match between three shards of the same mysterious creature from another dimension, a godlike being, and they came together and came to blows with our heroes in the crossfire, and that just did not go well for anyone involved. And in the process, Mike, who found himself the only one able to stand, while one of the shards, a monster who came into being on the island of a brutal and psychotic circle of wizards and mages, he saw his opportunity to interfere with that shard winning that triple threat match. He attacked, he interfered, and made sure that the consumption could not finish, thereby leaving three of these mysterious pieces on the board. But the act of doing so hit him with some serious psychological and psychic backlash and sort of knocked him into a very, very deep coma-like sleep. And our heroes were offered help by the last person that they wanted to accept it from, who has begun the process of trying to pull Mike back to the land of the waking. But the problem when you are banished to the land of dreams, when you're hit by the psychic backlash of a greater, larger being, is that there might be echoes of that monster in there with you. So, Mike, we find you in a sea of dreamlike darkness. You are aware of what happened to you. As far as you can tell, the moment you severed the tentacular appendage that Murder Thomas was using to attack the Nameless King, you were hit with some kind of shockwave that threw you into oblivion. And you're just around in the void of your own thoughts, trying to pull yourself together. This isn't the first time you've found yourself in these ephemeral, dreamlike spaces. And you know from in the past that you've had success anchoring yourself to memories and manifestations. So you go into your memory and you try to set a stage for yourself, something to grab hold of. A happy memory from a time in your past. Set the stage for us. Where do you go? What do you manifest?
Well, I think back to a time when I was about 3 years old, living with my mom and dad. They're both still alive, and my 3 older siblings are all still alive. Trying hard to latch onto that good thing, but I'm in bed in my 3-year-old little bedroom, and I wake up and see my sister Mary standing there, and she's crying, and I know I've latched onto a very bad memory. It was a very powerful one. I know what's happening, and I know I couldn't stop it the first time. I don't think I can stop it now.
You manifest in this memory in your little 3-year-old body, and everything feels very real for a memory, which is your first thought. And then your second thought is, oh my goodness, I'm aware. This is a memory of myself at 3, but I have my full faculties. I have my full memories. I have my thoughts. I have my mature, grown identity. I have deposited myself in this space, but I am lucid. What do you do?
I jump out of bed. Mary, get outside now. And I run towards my parents' bedroom.
She calls after you, confused. Mike, why? Where are you going?
Just go, get everyone out of here.
You bound to your parents' room on your little 3-year-old legs. You feel the dimensions, though, of the hallways of this childhood home warping and distending and growing longer, almost as if the memory itself is defeating you trying to alter it. But you grit your teeth and you force your way forward, and you eventually come to the door of your parents' room. It is shut.
I reach up, turn the knob, and push the door open, knowing what I'm going to see.
The knob won't turn. It's stuck. It's resisting you, but not as if it's locked. Not as if, that jiggle, that stiff resistance. It's almost a pliable pushback, as if you could just keep turning it forever until your wrist flipped on itself over and over again in a nautilus spiral into infinity. Your brain rebels at the concept, but you can't make it move.
I'm banging on the door. Come out. I'm the one you want. Come get me. Leave them alone. Leave them out of this. Even though I know it's not real. I know it's a memory. I can't help it.
Roll weird.
Oh, I'm good at this one. Whoa. So that's a 9.
You hear a voice in your ear. I can intervene. I can break in there. I can do something.
Now, I'm kind of torn because I'm still, 3 years old, a full 3-year-old observation of everything, but I know enough I need to ask some questions. Who are you?
I'm what's left. And I'm curious. If I break down that door and the voice is all around you, as if you're submerged in it, as if the audio of it is like you're in a pool, do you want to see what you'll find?
I've already seen it once. I want to stop it.
What do I have to do to stop it?
Can you kill demons?
I can kill anything in here.
There are 2 demons and they're attacking my parents right now.
Would you like me to intervene and see what happens?
Yes.
The door dissolves like sand suddenly revealing the horrible, horrible scene within. What is happening? What is before you?
Both my parents are in bed. My mother is screaming as a demon's on top of her, slashing her. My father is lying there with the demon sucking on his face. He's motionless and limp, nearly dead.
The demons carry about their work, and you're riveted. Suddenly, it's hard for you to move. It's hard for you to act. You feel your mind reeling with the sudden awful influx of grief at seeing this memory again so clearly. It's not as if the past had been foggy, but you were so young, and distance had turned it into a tableau of sorts, almost numbing it as the decades marched on. But suddenly you are there, you are present. And then the demon on top of your mother, going in for its final couple of cuts, arches its back with a hideous, high-pitched shriek, and something you can't see, there's a distortion, almost a trick of the light, explodes out of its chest cavity, having impaled it through. It makes a final gurgling croak before it is flung off. It collides with one of the walls of this dreamscape of your parents' bedroom and passes through it as if it's hitting a rippling pond. The demon on your father ceases its awful, hellacious feeding and appears, just by body language, to be absolutely stunned. And you find yourself able to move again.
I grab the crucifix off the wall and go hit the demon that's still there.
It roll tough.
Okay, so that'd be a 12 for full-grown Damas.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is for, 3-year-old Damas.
3-year-old Mike. Yeah.
Michael.
Yep. He a lot less. You run up and you give it a whack, and it sizzles and wavers, almost like an illusion that has lost stability. But then it snaps back into focus, and it turns its attention towards you, and you feel a sudden certainty that it is a half a second away from going after you with all the violence it can muster.
I hold the crucifix out and advance on it.
Very cool. It seems bemused by your courage. It takes a couple of steps to the left, a couple steps to the right, eventually comes off of the bed. It seems to be debating what it wants to do to you. It doesn't seem to be intimidated. It seems to be excited. You get a distinct feeling of being prey. But right as it tries to take its first step forward, it stops, suddenly frozen. And you're alone in this situation with a frozen, vibrating demonic entity.
I know what probably the smart thing to do is, but this is still too emotional. So charge out and start swinging the crucifix again, trying to hit it.
The first couple of blows, again, don't do really anything at all. Just more sizzle, more wavering, but it's like you're attacking something that's not there. But you see a force acting upon this creature, bending it towards you, almost calcifying it, and suddenly details on its awful leathery skin come into sharper focus. You can see the spines and horns and claws coming out of it, and the ridges and chunks and chips within them. You can smell brimstone and some stuff you don't want to smell. And
I'm trying very hard to notice anything distinctive that I might be able to identify this thing with later, hoping that this memory is actually accurate.
roll
So
sharp.
That's a 11.
You go ahead and make a note in your notes. You are reliving one of the worst moments of your life. You will never forget this. Every detail, every line, every scar, you'll remember it all.
Okay.
As it snaps into focus, as it becomes sort of a higher definition version of itself, suddenly your feeble little swings of this article of faith start to do damage. They start to inflict ruinous wounds. They're small because of your limited range of motion across the landscape of this thing's hide. And you can tell just by the tension and by the little twitches that the creature wants to respond. The creature wants to fight back, but something is holding it for you. And you hear another voice in your ear. Finish it.
I keep swinging away, trying to go for the most vulnerable spot I can from a 3-year-old's height.
This, what can only be described as like a telekinetic outside force, forces the creature's neck down to your level. And you hear the sounds of bone and enamel shattering and stone chipping as this creature is forced into this unnatural posture. And you take this force up on it. You start hewing away at its neck until the creature's head comes free of its body and with a whispering hiss dissolves into black sand, then nothing. And you're alone in the room with the body of your father and the shallow breathing of your mother.
All right. Using adult Michael's knowledge, he goes over and starts binding her wounds. I'm sorry I couldn't get here earlier, Mom. I love you. Because he knows this might be the last time he ever gets to see her. He's trying to bind up all her wounds. And
they're resisting being bound up. You try to act on it, and it's like reality is pushing back on you. Every time you try to apply pressure, the wound almost moves. Every time you try to grab like a bedcloth in order to form a tourniquet, it passes through her almost as if she's a ghost. And she just stares at you with wide eyes and motions weakly with her hand for you to come closer. You're worthy, sweetheart. Fight your hardest. It'll all be over soon. And then the room fades in a sudden dissembling of black sand, detritus, psychic residue, and you're back in the void as yourself. But you can tell you're not alone.
who's there?
I'm still here. I've never left.
Who exactly are you?
I'm what's left. And unfortunately, you're in my way. I'm sorry to have to do this to you, Michael Connor. I know that you've been through so much, but from what I've just seen, You're worthy. This will mean something.
What do you intend to do?
I am going to take everything you are, your memories, your pain. I'm going to bind them together, and then I'm going to break your mind, consume and devour it, and ride your body off to war. I have siblings out there that need to be brought to heel.
Why do you need my body?
It's where I found myself, Michael. I feel bad indeed for inflicting this fate upon my creator, but there is no other way.
Are you sure of that?
I am sure. I can't get out. I can't get out of your brain. I can't get out of its psychic shadow, so I must dominate it. I wanted to give you a chance to fight, a chance to show your worth. But now I know that you've got that fight in you, my creator, and I will not hold back.
What will happen to my friends?
Unfortunately, I cannot worry about their fates, but you deserve the opportunity to say goodbye. I can manifest one of them here with you now if you would like.
I would.
Which one would you like me to pull?
Let me see Rory.
You feel a tugging sort of at the edge of your consciousness. And there's another swarm of energy and a mist, sandy-like substance. And suddenly you aren't alone in the void anymore. There's Rory, looking curious and somewhat bemused.
What in the bloody hell am I doing here, Mike? This ain't exactly the pub.
I'm not exactly sure, but this might be my only chance to say goodbye to you.
Goodbye, Mike. I haven't even done anything with you yet except for kick some monster ass. There's all sorts of things that we need to get done.
I don't think I'm going to have any choice in that. I need you to look after the girls while I'm gone.
Gone. And where are you going?
To heaven. I've been baptized and said my confessions.
Oh, come on, that's all shite. Your Jesus can wait a little bit longer.
I hope so, but I don't know.
Where's your fight, Mike? Come on. No.
I'm not. Let's say I'm going to give up, but I'm just being realistic here. There's a good chance I won't make it through this.
Realistic. Well, perhaps you need to be realistic, but I don't. Come on now, Mike. Work for it with me.
You got any ideas? This isn't really my area of expertise. He plans on absorbing all my memories and pain and taking control of my body so he can survive and finish the tasks he needs to finish.
All right. So, what we need to do then? Kick his ass.
I can try that. But
He's in your bloody brain, right? Come on.
yeah,
That's your brain. You can bring all sorts of things in here. Get him with a bloody bazooka.
I also What? You said you have brothers and sisters you need to rescue?
Aye, yeah, all over. I remember
No.
saying that.
No, not you, Rory. Our guest.
Yes. Yes, they're out there. You know one of them. You call him friend. The other two, much less friendly.
The other, the nameless king has been fairly friendly.
It's when he needed something from you. I wouldn't expect such courtesies going forward.
So you're planning on rescuing. Other than them, who are you planning to rescue?
Rescue is a word for it. I plan to reunite.
All the parts of the Shattered King.
Yes, I am yet another shard splintered off by your actions.
All these bastards are always talking about some weird esoteric goal they've got, Mike. I'm not a fan of it. Nobody ever speaks plain.
I don't think they're trying to be cryptic. I just think it's not something usual to our experience.
So,
You have no idea what it's like, Michael, to be a shell of yourself, to be a shard of something so much bigger and so much stronger, to be pulled from what you belong and from who you are, to be subjected to indignities and human magic, to be made mortal.
I do, and trust me, he's still an arsehole.
I have some idea of what it's like to be broken and become something less, be pulled away from what you were. I'm not saying it's the same experience, but I think I can empathize with you.
Your empathy is appreciated, but not needed. My nature compels me not to victimize you, Michael. I will let you choose the hunting ground, but we go there now.
Oh,
You feel another tugging at your consciousness, and feel something else bubbling up in the back of your mind. You grasp it reflexively, just want to get a hold of something, anything. And slowly before you, another manifestation emerges, begins to come together. And you two are joined by Rose.
Rose,
that one too, then.
sorry, I didn't mean to bring you here.
Where's here?
You're in my mind, I believe.
Cool.
There's a whole story about it. It don't make a lick of sense. Don't even bother.
It's okay. I'm pretty used to being confused by you guys, so I'm good with it. What do we need to do?
We need to defeat the force that's trying to destroy me so he can use my body to further his goals. Or at least get you out of here safely if that's not an option.
It's pretty standard fare, yeah.
Kind of checks out all the way around. Well, then let's feed him so we can go home and watch TV. I'm pretty sure it's our day off.
Oh, TV. Probably. More Lucy, then.
I'm hoping we could find some sort of way to work with him because I'm pretty sure he has at least some of the same goals we do. I think he wants to kill Jason Grayson, which, if we can help him do that, that'd be great.
I do love violence. That's a known fact about me.
Checks out. Well, you want to try talking? I mean, is he around?
He's everywhere.
As you have been talking, you notice the environment around you has been changing and morphing and shifting. You're in control of where it goes, though, but you feel a tug, a compulsion to conjure another memory, another setting, where does your subconscious take you next?
We are in a storage facility, like rent a storage space type place.
Storage, like a bank of storage units?
Yeah,
Is it night? Is it day?
it's evening, not dark yet.
And then you're there.
Right.
And suddenly it's got the same sort of thin veneer of surreal, lucid dreaming kind of tone to it, but this feels a lot firmer than the previous memory did. It's almost like being awake, but a couple of things are off. You can't feel what the temperature is, for example, and the air is kind of thin. But other than that, it's like you're back here, wherever here is to you.
For
Kind of an old
those,
place for a scrap, Mike.
yeah, you see a couple police cars, marked police cars, one unmarked car that I get out of. I'm in civilian clothes. There's a cop standing by a storage unit with a pair of bolt cutters. This is the one. I have the warrant. The owner of the storage facility's there just to watch things. He cuts the lock off, and we.
One of the uniformed cops just looks at you and goes, "All right, Mike, your show. What do you need?"
Just start documenting what we find here. I have a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, you got it. All right, boys. Ledger's out. Box is out. We're going to be meticulous about this. Who knows how this weird stuff goes when it actually gets to court. All right, man. After you.
Pull open the door and see a bunch of boxes. And there's one that's not taped up. Let's start with that one. Get some pictures of it first.
That's anticlimactic.
Pull it down. Open it up. See about 6 right index fingers.
Oh, jeez.
Feminine.
Oh. What kind of sick freak?
Just a monster in human skin.
Louis, Radio Precinct. We need more. The works.
You know, I do resemble that remark.
I kind of look around and notice that nobody even sees Rory. I kind of whisper, "You're a dragon in human skin, but you're not a monster. This guy's. I remember him. He's nothing like you. You're nothing like him."
What do you do then?
What's that?
What do you do then?
He just was a serial killer. Could murder people for fun. Man. Yeah, not because anyone threatened him, not because he wanted anything, just that's how he got his jollies. And I keep looking around for, the hammer to fall and whatever.
Hey, yo, Cal, how's that perimeter going? Cal? Oh, dude, that ain't funny.
Let me get
Hey,
your shotgun.
Mike, something wrong with your radio?
Let me get the shotgun out of your trunk.
What shotgun out of my trunk? Why? You think we're gonna run into some raccoons, man?
Things could get bad here.
Yeah, I
got a bad
don't
feeling.
mind rolling in hot. Perks of the job. And he kind of walks back to the car, pops the trunk. It's empty, but like amorphously so. Like shifting, distorted. What do you need, Mike?
You got a 240 in there?
Materializes.
Do you have a pair of 40s? A good drink wouldn't go amiss.
Yeah, Mike, what kind of help do you need here?
Here, you take this. I give her an M79 and a bandolier. This is area effect weapon, so it should be pretty easy.
Cool.
Hey, Mike, what's with the spray and pray, man? I don't think that's protocol.
Don't worry, it's there's gonna be an exception here. Is there anything on the from where I can see anything looks unusual? This is Montana, so there's not a lot of trees, not a lot of cloud cover.
Yeah, in fact, there's not. You don't remember this storage center being, frankly, this massive. It's rows of storage units, literally as far as the eye can see, like one grand storage war labyrinth. An obvious distortion, but that's where it is.
Am I able to shapeshift as per normal?
Yeah, you guys have full control over your character's abilities and personalities. You're just Mike's vision of them.
I'm going to become a squirrel and scurry up the building to try and get a look from on top.
Sounds good. Roll sharp.
7 minus 1, 6.
It's just the same sight as far as the eye can see. If you didn't know any better, in fact, kind of the harder you look at it, yeah, it looks like it might literally be the same grid, like just copy pasted on top of it, on top of itself, ad infinitum out into the horizon.
I think it's one of them vampire science things, like a Morbius strip, like the Michael Morbius strip.
Does the uniform cop react strangely to this squirrel talking in an Irish accent?
No, he's just kind of going about, like he's wandering around looking at boxes. He keeps kind of futzing with his radio though, keeps saying stuff in it like, Lou, come on, dude.
I'm gonna close my eyes and focus and just get rid of everyone other than Rose and Rory if I can. Just so there's no distraction of me seeing people I know get killed.
You try to get your hands around sort of this setting, this psychic imprint, and you feel the edges of it as sort of expanding outward ad infinitum, and you get your consciousness around it. Focus. But you aren't able to exert that kind of control. Roll weird.
5.
You're not in charge here. No, ooh, man, not funny. Where are you?
Hey, why don't you drive over there, see if you can find him? I can hold things down here.
Yeah, I got you. Hey, remember detailed inventory, huh? Just because it's going into criminal doesn't mean we want to get accused any chain of custody crap.
Yeah.
And, that big honking weapon there. Just watch where you point that thing. I love being a cop in Montana. God bless the Second Amendment. He just sort of walks out, gets his flashlight out, and you see him start to poke around.
You said I got to choose the battleground. Well,
Mike, do we know who we're up against here?
It's part of the Shattered King, which is also part of regular Thomas and Murder Thomas.
Want me to see if I can tell if he's around?
Sure.
You know,
Rose.
quite honestly, judging by Thomas, I kind of like him better when he's shattered.
Yeah,
I think we found the best part.
he's pretty cool. And Rose will try to kind of sense through the bond if she can tell where any pieces of Thomas might be.
Tell me what the weird is.
What a good question.
Not a bad question at all.
What the weird is.
Word. Also the title of our new single.
Checks out.
Releasing with it.
So she got a 9, but I think she has this ability that lets her treat it as a 10 when it comes to her guide.
I recall that. I think that is exactly how it works. You feel something familiar, but it's tainted, it's wrong, it's frayed and cold, but it is here. You just can't tell where.
All right, guys. He's here, but not ours, obviously, and he's kind of all over. Kind of hard to pinpoint him.
All right, so we should be fighting the trash cans and whatnot then.
It's not impossible. I probably wouldn't start there.
You hear suddenly a loud shouted curse. What? Jesus Christ, Lou!
Look that
I
way.
start jogging over towards there.
You turn a corner into sort of another bank, another couple of streets of storage units to find your manifestation of your cop buddy gawking up at a pillared light where his partner, the other uniformed officer you came here with, has been hung from the neck until death by his tie and is strung up to this lamp. Lou, what the... Oh my God, what the hell? I can't get signal. We need back. Who did this to you?
Playing pretty. Not at all.
Oh, God.
It's me you want, isn't it?
Oh God. Mike, what's going on, Mike? What's happening here? I don't know what's happening here. I don't feel good.
Just stay here, see if you can cut Lou down.
I don't
I'm gonna walk back over to where we first
and
came in.
his neck opens suddenly in a ragged, jagged slash, and he just collapses, his head barely on his shoulders.
I scurry down and turn back into Rory.
If you're trying to scare me by having people murdered in front of me, that's not going to be real effective.
You hear nothing. In fact, you all hear conspicuously nothing.
Are we really wanting to challenge that fact? Just saying, as one of the people who could be murdered.
You can't really be murdered.
I'd prefer your brain didn't get murdered either.
Yeah, that seems fair. What do we do?
There ain't nothing to fight here.
All of you roll sharp.
12.
Do I have to say?
Well,
You
Was it a 4 or less? 'Cause
It's a 1.
You got
mark
a
that for
one?
experience.
Yeah, I need to remember to do that. Yeah, no, I have a -1 on my sharp and rolled 2.
Oh my gosh.
So Dream Rari just goes wandering off in a complete other direction.
He's
But
gonna be this way.
he's like, "Oh, look, a door." Well, the rest of you notice. The rest of you notice a distortion, a weird sort of effect, as if you're gazing through the heat of a fire right by the corpse of the newly fallen officer.
I'm gonna try to put like a long, 15 round burst into it. Because I got a belt-fed weapon.
You light up the area, and the shimmering crystallizes into what can really only be described as like a serrated thorn. The back end of it is dripping with some sort of substance. It's clearly this that tore through the beat cop.
What are you hoping to accomplish?
There is no response. Everybody roll sharp again.
6.
9.
11.
You receive no audible response to your entreaties. But all of a sudden you feel that you're not alone in your own space. Roll tough.
Everyone or just Mike?
Just Mike.
Yeesh, 9.
You spin, try to turn towards something that is clearly behind you to bring your huge weapon to bear, but you're just too slow. And you get hit in the chest by what feels like a slow-moving vehicle. It is a full-body impact that sends you for a ride. You collide full-on with one of the doors of one of these many storage units and dent it in, and with a thud, roll off of it, sustaining 2 harm.
Was that full when I started?
Yes. Yes. Dreamu has no injuries.
Well, didn't have any injuries.
Hearing the huge sounds behind me, I cease my assault on the door and start running back.
Yeah, you're like, I've at you.
Yes.
Can I see yet what hit me?
If you look hard at it, you examine sort of what Rose and Rory are suddenly looking at to kind of focus where you're training your eyes. And you see almost like pollen or particulates in the air. And it's notable because there's nothing else in the air here, like nothing else. It's sterile. And Rory, it'd be your turn if you want to do something.
Alrighty. Well, if I've got the wherewithal to do this, I'm gonna bust out one of my new moves. I'm going to combat magic at this thing. And the specifics of that are I have a blast, so I need to get close to it, but it's a 2 harm. Affects fire, obviously. That's plus 2 harm fire to the base. If I get a 10 plus on a combat magic, the fire won't spread. And then I'm also getting force which is +1 harm, forceful. So if everything works out great, I'm dropping 5 harm on stuff I hit with my blast.
That's always a sentence you want to throw out there. If everything works great.
If everything works great, and if things only work kind of great, everything's on fire.
Well, we'll see how that goes down in a dreamlike environment. Go ahead and roll weird.
Dope. 9, 10, 11, 12.
You launch your blast of flames at this area of distortion and score a direct hit. And you hear this sort of hissing howl, all of you, high-pitched, almost at the top of human registry.
What the hell?
And slowly but surely more black sand, more black dust and black particulate begin to swirl around in this area. And this great gout, this great pillar of fire that is the residue of your blast is suddenly sucked into this void at the center of what is a humanoid swirling mass of black sand, dark pollen dust.
Oh, Mike, I don't think he liked it.
It regards Rory with a quirk of its head, nods. Rose, it's your turn.
Cool. So, Mike, how do I use a gun in this game? Isn't that what you gave me? No, you gave me an area of effect thing.
I gave you an M79 grenade launcher.
Let's pretend who doesn't know what any of these numbers and letter combinations mean.
It's an old school grenade launcher.
Okay.
That
Rose is like, Mike, I would like to use this. What is this?
I've taught you how to use this before. You just basically hit a lever, it breaks open, slap around in, close it back, and
I'd call it
point and shoot.
Modern Warfare 1 in like the mid-2000s. We called it the noob tube.
Perfect. And she will follow his instructions and try to shoot a thing.
Roll tough.
Just like, let me be clear, this only happens in your head, and she will shoot this.
We're doing our best to blast it. That's the strat so far.
This is why Rose doesn't use weaponry, okay? I want to be real clear. Because guess who has a negative on tough? So it's a 1.
More experience.
You fire a grenade at this creature made of particulate, made of fine dark mist. And the flaw with that plan is the grenade goes right through it and straight at Rory. Eyes widen, and he makes a sound that one might just go ahead and call an Irish broguish what, and takes a full on grenade blast right to the face.
Now,
I'm so
what was
sorry.
the range here between Rose and Rory?
Like 20 feet.
So it wouldn't have armed. So he just got hit in the chest with a grenade.
It gets hit in the chest. All right, so now you're holding a large grenade.
And then there's a grenade next to me.
Technically, it's not armed yet.
All right.
Yeah. I'll let you go down to 1 harm for taking a ballistic to the chest.
Great. That's fine. I'm sure that is the fact that it could have exploded him but did not, I'm sure, is of great comfort.
Never, ever again. Every time I use one of these, Mike, it goes terribly wrong.
No, it's fine. Just keep shooting them. It's fine.
No, this is why I'm going to learn the magic.
Mike, it's your turn.
I'm going to stand back up and say to it in dark tongue, because I can speak that now. I'll give you 1 chance. You work together with me, and I'll do what I can to get you back together and help you get your revenge on Jason Grayson. If you don't, though, I'm doing everything I can to destroy you.
It's not a promise you can keep, Mike. You hear the voice in your head and all around. But I appreciate the effort. Let's do this honorably and have done with it.
All right, I'm gonna.
Screw honorably, Mike. I'm in the ghost nats.
As long as there's nobody behind,
the ghost nets.
as long as there's nobody behind the target, I'm gonna just lay another long burst into him. See if it does anything.
Go for it.
So for tough, that's an 11.
All right. Go ahead and roll sharp as well for me.
Is this like a? Would tactical genius apply in this?
Absolutely would.
So I'm gonna roll cool then. 6, so 9.
The bullets pass all the way through this thing again, like you're shooting concrete dust or silly putty, but that yields good information as it confirms the nature of what you're facing. It is ephemeral and only semi weird, or semi real. It's using weird for its combat stat. It's not something that you're going to be able to attack in a conventional blunt force way. It's just going to pass through.
Fire did connect, right?
As far as you can tell.
Yeah, it's hard to judge, but it's the best option we found so far.
Rory, it looks like this is up to you.
No, it's fine. Find something else to hit it with, just not bullets.
The creature whips one of its arms back behind it without looking and extends what can only really be described as a tendril out to the grenade that is beside Rory and whips it back at Mike, who can go ahead and roll again for cool. You can roll for tactical genius, but that's bad.
10.
You dive into a painful roll. You don't take harm because you rolled just hard enough, as where you used to be is suddenly engulfed in a dramatic explosion. You're sort of thrown forward by the impact, but you manage to avoid grievous harm, and the creature follows your movements with a tilt of its neck and then starts to dissipate. It's Rory's turn.
You don't get to hit and run on me. No, ain't that easy. Yeah, we'll let him have it one more time. If he's dissipating, we'll give him one on the way out, and then I'm gonna try and find a new tactic. 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Weird.
Cool.
If things can catch fire, it would spread.
Yeah. So you hit it again, and it's almost like it blows apart, like it loses cohesive and coherent form. But again, you hear another loud shrieking noise, and the world feels unsteady under your feet. And all of a sudden, every storage unit, every building, whether it should be flammable or not, is ablaze.
Well, I didn't do it.
This is going really well.
Yeah, Aurora's just looking around with kind of like dumbfounded shock.
Everything is on fire, and the heat is intense. You all feel it.
Definition of this is fine, GIF.
Yeah, you all feel it, and it's like, oh man. At first, just the sort of feeling of being in real close proximity to a campfire or a bonfire. And then the sudden realization that the temperature keeps going up like you are in an oven.
All right. I don't know spell for this. I'm looking, I promise.
Yeah. Mike, any ideas?
I'm still focused on the mission. This is my memory, so I'm hoping I have some control over it. I'm gonna go inside the storage unit / trophy room of the serial killer
/
and,
Inferno.
and see if I can find something to help us defeat this thing. It's a Hail
Roll,
Mary,
roll weird.
but not one of my better ones. Oh, but that's a 10.
Nice. You make for it, and you suddenly realize the closer you get to it, the less suddenly brutal and blistering the temperature is. When you make it to the inside, you find the only place that you can see that isn't an absolute inferno, and find that the heat is actually tolerable in there.
Guys, come on in here.
Let's go, Rory.
All right, fine. Bloody hell! Scramble on over.
Looking around for anything helpful.
It looks just like you remember it. A memory seared into your skull for how disturbing it was.
Rory, anything in here that you could use to do your magic stuff? This was a serial killer's storage place where he kept trophies of the victims. And
Oh yeah, I have my my cannibalism finger spell always prepped.
Rory,
It's on
don't
standby.
be- That's not necessary.
just
I don't know. Maybe anything can be magic. Most of it isn't usually, but always could be. That's just how magic is.
how about you just can you check around here and see what you can?
I reach out and attempt to use magic to look for things unseen.
Go ahead and roll for it.
That is an 11.
The thing that's unseen is a very, very weird sensation of power, of not necessarily magic, but some sort of force, some sort of tension. You can feel that tension all over the place, as if this reality is made of millions of billions of little threads. And this room is where they all center.
I try to find the center of the center.
The box of fingers.
This is gross. I'm gonna grab the box. And what happens if I shake it?
Nothing. Just shake it and feel some really unpleasant rattling and rolling inside. Not fun.
All right. Oh, okay. So, I don't know what to do, but this is a concentration of something like the finger box. It's tied to the finger box somehow.
What if you burn it? I mean, is it like the source of all the power here?
It's tied to it. I don't know if you could call it its source. I think the source is Mike's brain.
That's what I remember most about this event, about this time, about this place.
Well, all this is tied to your memory then. I don't know what that means. I don't know how it means we can help. What'd you do? Did anything happen? Did you solve it?
Yeah, you find a box of fingers. It's kind of hard not to convict the guy.
Well, where was he?
He's back at the precinct right now. So my sister sent me a text with this address, and that's how I knew to come here. And it's a long story, but
Mike, roll weird.
8.
As you talk, you slowly start to feel the dull hum, the dull whine, that tension in reality that Rory is describing.
This whole place is based on what I remember. It's based on how I'm tying into this. If he somehow needs me to choose some place for us to fight, I think, because he didn't just try to kill me when we were in space. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, so why did you choose here?
This was kind of one of my highlights. I became kind of a star detective, and I was a big
What?
name in the state.
You.
We stopped a serial killer. We didn't arrest him for murder. We didn't even know he was a serial killer.
Is it a weird emotion? A strong emotion? Well, I mean, yeah, you did something good here. You stopped somebody, but you also witnessed some real shite here, man.
Yeah, most of my strong memories are tied up with that kind of stuff. There aren't very many that I'm not. Most of the strong memories I have are lots of people dying. So this was,
And this was a win for you.
yeah.
Okay.
Roll weird again, Mike.
7.
The more you talk, the more readily apparent the very fabric of this space is.
That can't be
Right.
easy. You're carrying a lot. There's a lot wrapped up here. There's a lot wrapped up in you. Your head's a goddamn cobweb.
Yeah, it's why I don't talk too much about my past.
I don't know. I
So
think
what-
maybe here you should.
Yeah. So we stopped this guy. I don't remember why we had him in the station, but he was nervous and just acting weird.
What was he picked up on?
I can't remember. It doesn't even matter. My sister sent me the text.
How about her? What do you know about her?
So she was the only one of my siblings to survive the first attack on my family back when I was 3 years old. She was never the same after that. She couldn't talk. She was almost catatonic. But she was somehow gifted with prophecy, psychic abilities, something she can see when things are about to happen. Remember when I came over to the house and Rose and
Yeah, you said you got a text about me.
yeah, it was from my sister. She just sent me a text of a picture of a rose, and I knew something was wrong. She
Well, I
doesn't
think,
send
yeah.
me.
Head, but you could try texting her in here, see what happens. Maybe she can send you some advice.
Pull out my phone.
Very good.
You mentioned
What's
this
up?
before. I assumed it was a weird Jesus thing.
So in dreams, you can't read, but you don't need to. The act of taking this out and trying to do it suddenly snaps the whole thing into as sharp a relief as it has been since you became aware of your occupation of space. Suddenly, everything feels real, and the weird, quasi groggy haze you've been in is gone. You feel like yourself, and you feel strong, and the fire goes out, and you guys are alone again. You hear hissing, croaking, creaking, groaning. Interesting.
You know, I just once love to bloody fight someone who thought we weren't interesting or fascinating or did a slow clap when we turned a corner on their evil plot. Someone just who had some actual bloody malice would be great as a change of pace.
Malice. You all hear it around. Actual bloody malice.
Aye. Fight us like a goddamn man or god or whatever you bloody are.
Malice. I can do malice. How about a race, Mike? You are you. I want to be you. Let me race you to what the you of this memory values most. Your phone vibrates.
Hello?
You hear your sister's voice. He's coming, Mike. Please get here first.
I hop in the cruiser.
Click.
Do you two get in with me?
Oh, absolutely.
Tell me where it is. I can get there faster.
Okay, get us up in the air. There's a canyon. There's a ridge line. We're just north of that. Ridge line runs east to west.
All right. Hell, if Edith were here, I could get big enough for all of you. All right, I'll meet you there.
I would like to maybe try a thing too, if that's okay.
Go for it. Yeah, now's the time.
She is going to pull on the bond as hard as she can and urge him to move as slow as he possibly can. Basically pulling on that bond favor to see if she can get him to stop.
That's creative. Roll weird.
So it went very, very well. It's 11 plus 2, 13.
The bond feels different. The last time you tried to do this, it felt so artificial and incomplete and frayed and jagged. And now it feels like it should feel, just inky and oily and wrong and warm. But you grab hold of it and you yank on it and you feel something, some kind of anger or fury or frustration in your mind, but you are pretty sure it worked.
We might have a head start, but we should go.
I get in the car, go as fast as I possibly can. Lights and sirens if there's any traffic.
There's nothing. In fact, as far as you can tell, there's no other people or cars or anything. And the city just unfolds in front of you as you drive, as if you're conjuring it from your very memories.
I know the way to the house, so
I mean, what? Freaking golden eagle just.
I can't wait to draw Rory the Golden Eagle. It's a very exciting concept.
It
I'm
takes
just a very frustrated golden eagle.
I'm just concentrating on the house as much as I can, so that if it's like in full color, anything else around us is kind of grayish. Rory has no question where he's headed.
that works just fine. And before y'all know it, you cut through a sea of almost like television-esque black and white monochrome to the one house in color. And the closer you get, the more you feel that tension again, and you feel it growing. And that is where we'll take a break for now.
All right.
Whew.
All right. I know that everyone needs a break, so we'll break for about 5 and come back for announcements.
Sounds good.
All right, cool. All right. and I will wait for them because I don't need to go anywhere. Want to say, as I'm the only one on camera right now, that we sure do appreciate everybody tuning in to support us. We have a ton of fun doing this. And in the past couple of streams, we have managed to secure a couple of fantastic partnerships that have resulted in some cool giveaways that we have done. We have not completed those giveaways for a couple of folks. They're still extant. They're still outstanding. So if you've won one of our giveaways and you haven't claimed it yet, make sure to give us a message so that we can facilitate that transaction, and we'll get after it. We'll see y'all shortly. We have a Chloe.
Hello, can we hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you just
Let
fine.
me close my door. Sorry, guys.
All right, everybody.
We have all the humans.
Welcome back, everyone.
Hello.
Well, do we have any announcements real quick before we? All right. Let's start with Elle.
Hello. So I heard you talking about it a little bit before the break, but we have some cool new partnerships. And so I thought I would just talk about them for a second. We are actually partnered with Escape Velocity Comics here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. They're a super cool, really clean, family-friendly kind of comics and game shop. And they've kind of signed on for this season as our giveaway sponsor. They've got some cool stuff coming up. If you want to check them out, they are on Facebook as Escape Velocity Comics, and they've got like a super cool book club coming up. I think they're reading 2 takes on fantasy, and so it's Rat Queens and Headlopper, and it's a super cool series, so you should check those out. And then I have a little shop called Fateful Designs, or Fatefully L, just depends on which social media tag I could get. I do sticker art. It's some super cool stuff. If you feel like checking it out, I'll post links up to both Fateful and Escape Velocity. And then if you want to get your super cool Uncanny Ink or Uncanny Prose merchandise, we have a little shop too called uncannycreations.art. You can get t-shirts, hoodies, there's notebooks and stickers. There's all sorts of really cool stuff. So if you feel like checking it out, please let us know. Well, I guess you don't have to let us know. You can just go check it out. But we want to hear.
You can let us know too. Like that.
Yeah, we want to hear about the cool stuff you like.
It doesn't hurt anything. Yeah.
We always want to hear. So if there's a sticker, if you want to see Rari the Golden Eagle as a sticker, let us know. That way we know what you guys want to see on merchandise. Let's see. Is there anything else I can think of? Escape Velocity Faithful. We've got uncannycreations.art. I'll post links up to all 3 of those. And I think that's everything. Did you ask our dear friend Fun Crusher a favor?
I put it more generally, but Fun Crusher 13, you want a giveaway, and
Yes.
go ahead and message us, and we'll facilitate getting you your winnings.
You can message me. You can message Uncanny Prose. You can do Uncanny Ink. I'll actually post up a couple different places too here in the comments. That way, if you are having trouble getting a hold of us, you can for sure get a hold of one of us.
Yes, absolutely.
That is all the announcements I have.
All right. Well, gang, anyone else have any announcements they want to make?
Listen to Ombligo del Diablo. It's a good podcast. You can click on my name. That's that one. It's good. I like it.
Check out otpgames.com if you're an old school fat beard like me. I like it.
Well, right on. And welcome back, Chloe. I
Hello.
surrender the controls, as is tradition, to you. I did the best I could.
I'm sure you did fine. I'm sure
I
you
think I
did
did.
fine.
Yeah, it was fine. It was smooth, knowledgeable, smooth, strong.
Are we ready to jump back in?
We're ready to jump back in.
Cool. Who are we starting with?
All right. We have the whole gang, minus you. Sorry. Arriving at the dream manifestation of the house where Mike believes he left his sister, where he has memory of her being. It's the only house in color in the entire neighborhood. In fact, the more he kept driving, it seems like it might be the only house in color in the entire dang city. But you've arrived, and you've arrived as quickly as it is possible for you to. In fact, Mike, you believe that you've managed to even sort of bend the time distance curve based on sheer willpower.
Nice. Pull up into the lawn and as close as I can to the front door and run inside.
You find inside waiting for you, just initially straight in the door, a familiar face.
Mary.
Not Mary. Hi.
So who?
Edith has arrived.
Hey, Edith.
Took you guys long enough.
Wait, does she look like Mary or does she look like Edith?
She's Edith.
Okay.
But she's been waiting here for you, it is apparent.
So what are we doing?
We're bloody trying to save Dream Sister.
Dream sister?
Aye, the Dream Sister. She's my sister. But this is
Mary.
the truth, because we're all dream people. This is-
Mary. Mary.
Yeah, I don't think she's here. I think it's just me.
You hear nothing. The more you call, all you just hear is echoes.
Maybe call her, text her.
If she's not here, that might actually be good. I mean, I'll
So
try
wait, is she
to-
here? Is she here because of you too, Mike? Did you make her get here?
She's a memory. She wouldn't really be here, would she? Because she talked to me.
No,
So it must be just random because she.
the real world, Mike. You
But she
don't
can't. She can't talk.
Sure, but she can do brain things. She
Could
can
it
do
be
brain magic.
the king messing with you? I mean, he kind of seems like he could do that if he wanted to.
I tried texting her.
The answer is the fire emoji 3 times.
I don't think that's the same way that Nat sends that.
I hate emojis in general, but this is especially bad.
I mean, either that means she's having a ton of fun wherever she is, and she's like, "Bye, I'll talk to you later," or she's like in hell.
These are all fun
She's doing
choices. Can I sense him coming this way?
Oh, you sense him all right. Just like you have each time you've tried, all around you.
Him being the Shattered King.
Well, part of the same being that the Shattered King's part of.
Right.
This is a different one than Murder Thomas or Regular Thomas or the Shattered King, apparently.
I don't
This
know.
is
I
the-
mean, I got a grip on it for a minute, but I don't know how well it's working.
Well, this one's the Mike Thomas, and we got to get him out of here.
I'm gonna walk through. I'm gonna walk the entire house, make sure there's nobody else here.
While he's doing that, Edith, if
What?
we need to cover ground real quick again, I was thinking, this might be time for the big guns,
If you want to be a dragon, just ask to be a dragon.
May I
It's
be
fine.
a dragon, please?
What?
May I be a dragon, please?
Be a dragon.
All right. Bloody yeah, let's go.
Mike, do you have any significant memories with fire? I mean, is he trying to get you to go to a specific memory?
First of
No.
all, was Rory able to change?
Yeah, he's able to change, but he's not in control of his size. He is a Rari-sized dragon.
Oh, okay. So like person sized?
Why?
Yes,
Why?
And
You're
he's-
so tiny.
and he's a
This is-
mighty hunter of a dragon, standing roughly, 5'10" to 6 feet.
Yeah, it
What?
is.
Why
Come back
do I
downstairs.
just-
You're so tiny.
Oh no, I don't approve of this.
I remember you being bigger back in your head.
I was bigger in my head and bigger on the beach and bigger normal. I don't know what's happened and I refute it.
This sucks.
Clearly, it's the Shattered King, and he's got it all worked out. There isn't anything you can do about it.
No one allows me to have any fun. All right. All right.
Oh,
We're
that's
going
funny.
to do this.
All right, Mike is running around downstairs, guys. Maybe we should make sure he's not dead.
Fire
Mike,
it up.
you're alone, just checking rooms, and you feel the tension in your head. You feel the presence again, and you know that you're not alone, even if it appears that you are.
So what exactly do you want?
I'm learning you before the end. I know what makes you proud, and now I know what makes you afraid. You like to stop the bad people. And you like to protect your family and friends. I feel I understand you now.
And then you'll understand why I'm not going to let you just kill me and threaten my friends.
You are small, Michael. You'll be dead soon anyway. You have decades at most of life. Whereas if this continues, who knows what chaos could be unleashed.
That's why I'm planning on stopping it with my friends.
You've seen our power, the kind of power that I would wield with you. Do you not think I'm better equipped to stop it with your friends?
I think if you're so quick to throw away someone's life to further your goals, you can't be trusted with any sort of power.
You humans are so small. Your perspective's so limited. You have a word for power, multiple definitions, but you can't even conceptualize what something like me is at my best, at my peak, whole.
And yet, one of us humans was able to shatter you.
An insult he will pay dearly for, Michael.
I think you underestimate us.
Maybe so. I had planned on plucking your heartstrings in here, on subjecting you to horrible sights and playing on your fears. That seems beneath you, doesn't it? It seems beneath me. Fine then. Let's go to where it happened, Michael. Let's go to where they died. Let's go to where the source of your aches and pains, your itching and your discomfort begin. And let's finish this.
Why not just finish it here?
In a home, stalking prey hallway to hallway beneath me. I would rather the fields of those foreign lands or the rocky terrain would be the more accurate description, where you were at your best, your prime as a warrior, where you fought hard, survived unspeakable odds to come home. If I kill you then, I can take the best of you, merge it with the understanding you've yielded to me here, and honor your memory as the quintessence of everything that made you what you are.
So, Michael's natural inclination is just to fight him and resist, but he is interested in also reliving this experience to some degree. So he
Roll
started
sharp.
10.
These first two memories that he has taken you through and the prompting he gave you via the phone were intentional acts. He just revealed to you that he was studying how you fought, studying your whys, your ins and outs. Now he's trying to take you to a new memory. There's a reason he wants to go there. You want to go 2, but the realization that he's pushing for this for probably a reason sits heavy in your mind.
I'm going to try screwing with him and go to the memory of me watching myself when I wasn't in control of my body, when Jason had us stealing books out of the library. We were able to watch some video of that and see if I can force myself into that memory.
Ooh, roll weird.
So that's a 2.
Bring in, you know what? Bring in the others. You,
Oops, sorry. I'm trying to help you.
yeah, you suddenly, Mike, you suddenly find yourself joined by your manifestations of your friends who sort of form a semicircle around you, and you feel a push. All of you roll weird.
9, 10, 11.
5.
Right.
I'm getting
Well, yeah.
it's 13.
Ooh. Added with Mike's 2, that'll do it. You draw strength from these manifestations of your friends who you have shared these experiences and this journey through yourself and your memories with, and you feel able to exert control over your memories. You don't think you can scan through it like microfiche, but you feel like you could deposit yourself into one memory as long as your brain contains it. You feel that control, you feel that ability.
So I'm going to try to go to when we were watching, if I can, jack into the memory watching, see if we can get into where we actually were when we were not in control of ourselves.
You can feel fundamentally that thanks to the gaping tears this thing has torn in your psyche, you have access to all of that now. You just need to pick where you deposit yourself.
To when the first time we went to the library to steal books.
You feel that tug at the edge of your consciousness, and the house falls away, but you're not in oblivion. You're not in the void for long. The university library erects itself in front of you like blocks are being laid and construction is occurring in just rapid fire sequence. And you find yourselves, all of you, in the dead of night before the university library, and you are not alone. You recognize the person who stands before you at a glance. His hair is shorter. He has less stubble on his face, but he has the same dead black eyes. Jason Grayson is with you, if a memory version of him.
Oh, Mike, I don't love this choice.
Yeah, I don't quite get it.
Well, this is a memory of a memory. I'm just trying to screw with him.
He
You didn't
Good
want to
job,
go to
Mike. Say it
you
out
didn't
loud so that the
the,
faith
manif- the
can hear.
manifestation of Jason turns around and looks at you, Mike. Well, this is different.
Yeah.
How aware are you of what's going on?
Fascinating. Growing in awareness. I
He's actually here.
feel the edges of my
As soon as you're
perception.
out, you're making a second self-aware one. You're gonna have two.
Why are you here in this place?
It's actually your fault.
Granted. That's fair. And yet you've come back.
Again, that's your fault. Part of the creature you shattered is messing with me.
Which part? My part? Your friend's part?
I think
The
we've
original, maybe.
I think we've lost track of all the
That's
parts.
fair.
I'm calling this one Mike, Tom.
We're calling this one Mike, Tom.
And he's in here with you.
He's probably going to eat us, all of us. I hope he starts with you, and I hope it hurts.
That would be awesome.
Fascinating. I think you made this one, Mr. Connor.
Made him.
What's the last thing you remember doing?
Well, trying to cut off the tentacle of Murder Thomas.
Yeah. What was the tentacle doing, Michael?
Trying to eat the Shattered King.
Yeah. And
Consume it
how do you eat a chicken wing or a piece of steak?
in pieces.
Yeah. So when you severed that connection, looks like you took some of the poor victim with you. Look at you having something in common with your buddy.
So you're saying this is a chip off the Shattered King with a bit of Murder Thomas mixed in?
Feels like it.
It's
I
shard
wonder
of
what-
a shard.
I wonder what aspect this is. It's hard to say. There are hundreds of them. I find it interesting that he's leaving you in this much control, though. Well, you certainly get up to a lot of fun, Mr. Connor. Would you like some help?
I'd never work with you in a million years.
Rory, calm down. It's Mike's fake dream.
I know, but I still wanted to say it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just Mike working with different pieces of himself.
He's working some things out. We all got to do that sometimes. Fine.
You should listen to your ideations of your friends. They're pretty wise, actually. You must have a lot of respect for them.
I do. You should try showing people respect sometime.
I do, in my own way.
It's a terrible way. It's a terrible, terrible way.
Mike loves me. I'm his favorite.
I'm not sure that word means what you think it means.
I find that irrelevant. Be that as it may, I feel strong here. I feel like myself. I think you could use the help.
Are you saying Mike just thinks you're real strong?
Could be.
Even if
Feels like there might be more to it, though.
Well, but if Mike made you real strong, can you just punch the Shattered King for us and like open a hole so we can go back to being actually just Michael?
Oh, see, strong in the dream space, I could probably obliterate any nightmare he could conjure, but the shard is real. And I would imagine the only person who can kill it would be the host.
Well, Mike, couldn't you just think you're super strong? I mean, if you can think he's strong and that's not true.
Okay, well, it is true.
Different strong. That's a different kind of strong. This one's less of
Strength
an
of heart doesn't count in the real world, you two.
I don't
Well,
know,
I think
Ryan. I think
the
it
only thing that counts in your brain.
Listen, I find this amusing, but clearly you're not keen on my company. But I don't really feel like being stuck in this intangible, bizarre in-between realm any longer than I have to be. This is bizarre. So if you're not going to let me come in and fight alongside you, what information do you hope to glean from this place? Maybe I can speed this along.
What do you want, Mike?
I think we should let him come fight with us.
Here.
He's already killed us once. How much worse could it get?
Yeah, no. I say let fake Jason fight real Shard, and we just watch the pieces fall.
Well, we think we need to make sure we win.
Won't work. It's a
Why
good
not?
idea, but it won't work.
What help can you provide?
I can tell you where to find him.
Oh, that's useful.
He was in a box last time.
The box.
Threads of him. It was a concentration. It was like,
The nexus of the dream.
why? What can we do with it? If we can find it again, whatever form it's taken in the dream, what could I do? What could we do with it?
This is curious. I actually know how to answer these questions. Your memories in this state, in this deep, deep sleep you're in, Mr. Connor, are manifesting almost as their own realities. And at their center is the events that made them shape you so. But having your memories present in these distinct realities, by implication, it would mean that this thing is waiting for you somewhere specific. Have you had any luck killing it thus far?
Rory managed to injure it.
I don't know if injure is the right term.
It wouldn't surprise me. How did it manifest?
Black wispiness.
You ever read Spider-Man comic books?
I'm assuming he did. He's part of your brain, Mike.
My brother.
Kind of like Sandman.
He's not really there. The tour through your memories, he's taking it for a reason. But if you want to actually kill this thing or expel it, you need to find it where it actually resides and inflict the killing blow there.
We find threads again. Follow them further down.
If we find a nexus, can we follow that to where it actually resides?
Given the level of lucidity you seem to have accomplished, Mr. Connor, you can absolutely do that. I wouldn't be surprised if you could manipulate your dream space right now.
Chop, Mike. Take us to the thing.
I'm going to try to focus on this thing and just let everything else just kind of drift out of my consciousness. So all I can see is it.
You feel it almost immediately, like it's calling to you. Join me, Michael. Join me where they died. Join me where you last took your wound. Join me where you joined this path.
All right, so I'm able to manipulate. I walk onto the shore where there's a speedboat waiting for me, and my friends are there.
You are not alone.
We're on the seashore.
On the shore with you is something that you recognize. It looks a lot like the thing that was in the vat that escaped you back at the island.
That's the disease.
Welcome, Michael.
You're not trying to reunite everything. You're trying to consume everything.
Is that what I'm trying to do? I'm hungry. My first memory is of wanting to become one, but now I want different. It's unnecessary. It's inefficient. I don't need to imbibe the new weaknesses of my counterparts. No, I'm strongest. I can be the strongest. I should just take. No, I should eat. I should change them. I should make them into me.
See, what's evolutionarily smart has become more like the cold virus and less like Marburg virus. That's
I
not
don't.
going over your head, isn't it?
I don't.
You want
know
to
what you mean.
maximize. Yeah, see, if you just destroy everything, you're not going to last very long as a disease. That's why Ebola doesn't make any progress, but the common cold's everywhere because it doesn't really kill people. It just spreads.
Why are we trying to reason with it?
I don't know. It's a bad
It's
habit
Mike.
I have. It's not Michael.
I need you, Mr. Connor. I need your vessel. The boy will trust you, and I can
Yeah, sorry, that's not going to happen.
take.
I'm hoping I'm able to manipulate it enough that I can put a round into it and have it affect it.
Roll weird and tough.
Okay, this is my weird roll first. Ooh, a 9. And tough is a 13.
You shoot it square on, center mass. Hole opens on its chest, exit wound explodes out the back. It looks down, looks at you, quirks a monstrous head. Ouch.
That didn't
And-
work, Mike.
Then begins to shift. Suddenly, it's on fire, and demonic claws and thorns sprout out of its skin in various places, and a swirling aura of black, dark, tarish sand swirls around it. And the next sound that comes out of its mouth is that inhuman shrieking sound. And it makes for you. And combat is joined. All right. Rari, your turn's next.
All right. Let's
Can I
go
just-
for this.
Can I just reach back and hold Rose's hand while this is going on?
Yes.
See if I can help channel her weirdness since I'm kind of want to manipulate
Yes.
things.
I know it was meant as a compliment, but man, that was
Did come out
A
weird.
little bit. Hit somewhere tender.
it's fine.
Okay. Rari drops down onto all fours and he says, all right, tiny dragon, go. And he shifts once again into his bitty dragon form.
There's the sticker.
Tiny dragon go.
And he will lift off and attempt to sweep around this monster, billowing a smaller than average pyre flame at it.
Yeah, or go ahead and roll for tough on that. That's hilarious.
Okay, that one is 7. It is
All right.
under normal circumstances 4 harm close with whatever tags come with fire.
You circle and let loose a gout of flame that collides with the creature, and it jerks and smolders, but then looks up at you and howls that inhuman screech, and suddenly the flames on its body coalesce and combine with the gout of your flame. Your fire turns green, and suddenly you fall out of dragon form. And Mike, you take a harm. Rory's
Guys-
back in its human form.
Am I
You
falling
feel
towards the ground?
you feel sick, unwell, weak. Like it's a struggle to even get to your hands and knees.
Did I plummet?
Yeah, and hit the ground pretty hard.
Okay, great, good.
This always happens with you, Mike. Your friends die around you.
Edith,
What?
It is a memory, so that's probably what I would remember of Edith saying.
Yeah. Edith's is very critical.
This is like not Edith. This is very aggressive dream Edith. Okay, guys. Edith is a lovely person.
I mean, I hope it's been obvious I am dialed up to cartoon Rory levels.
It is Edith's turn.
Okay, well, the dragon just got knocked out of the sky, so I'm gonna like look around. Is there a rock nearby me?
A rock. Sure. I'll let you find a rock.
Fabulous. There's a big rock. I'm gonna throw it at the thing's head.
A big conch shell.
Yep. You
It's pointy and sharp and kind of heavy.
go ahead and roll tough.
That is a 6.
Yeah, you just miss, which is accurate for what Michael's memories of Edith fighting would be.
By the way,
Magic conch.
did that pistol round with silver and holy water for a total of 6 damage do anything to him at all?
You noticed it made an injury. But it's not acting like it's hurt, but you don't know. It certainly went in one end and out the other. All right, Rose, it's your turn.
woo. Well, see if it can handle its own medicine, and she will try to call on its power, hoping that there's a bit of Thomas to take from.
Ooh, roll weird.
Oh, okay. Plus. Sorry. I have notes all over my sheet because I haven't been able to update it. Okay, so it's going to be an 11.
When you reach out and touch it, it resists you a little bit at first. It just feels foreign, and that icky, inky feeling is as bad as it's ever been. But you wrestle with it, and all of a sudden you're filled with sensations and thoughts and power you are completely unfamiliar with. You are hunger incarnate. You are so starving, and you suddenly feel like you can project that feeling outwards from you.
Here we go.
That we're going to do, you're going to hit it with one of its own.
Hoping for the best here, but yeah.
All right, roll it again. 4 weird.
We can do this. Okay, 9.
All right. You push its power back after it, and from you emerges, just from your form, from your mien, a gout of the same green flames it just hit Rory with. And it takes it squarely and howls in pain, and its own flames on its body begin to ebb, and its spines and claws begin to flake. You've hurt it badly, but your contact with it has hurt you. You feel ill, exhausted, like you could sleep for a week.
That was fun.
and you begin to fade in and out. Mike, you take another harm, but you see this happen.
They see this.
You're welcome. We're gonna make this accurate, okay? Mike's
Yeah.
imagination.
That
We
was
are
the
good
one.
at visual humor.
I mean,
Mike, it is your turn.
it's whose turn?
Mm-hmm.
My turn?
No, it's Mike's turn.
I was gonna say, I thought Mike had to go.
I'm gonna try to read a bad situation and see, just because.
Go for it. Roll.
That's a total of 6. I
Want to use the luck to reroll?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Watch it be less. He's gonna roll 2.
Okay, so that's an 11.
All right. Read a bad situation. What are you hoping to learn?
How to hurt this thing and how to keep. Basically, got to keep myself from it because I think I figured out that I'm the only one taking harm. I figure out how to keep myself from taking harm without, making the others take the harm that they would have taken.
It is
By the way, does my ability to reduce harm affect the harm I'm taking here?
not in your dreams. This is all very psychic damage to your unconscious self. That said,
You said, but it sounded really aggressive. Not in your dreams.
yep. And it's not hard to read this situation. This creature started out as one thing and very stable and powerful and has been decaying since this experience started. It is now not itself. It is now floundering, and the contact it just had with Rose, while very damaging to both, has pushed it even further down the edge. It is unstable and sick. That said, anytime one of your dream manifestations or you makes contact with it, you are exposed to that very problem, and it's taking its toll on you already. You need to find some way to destroy this creature without exposing yourself to its worst and most toxic energy.
So, Mike, why don't you just dream that you have a bazooka?
That was literally the first thing I said, Edith.
Rory, hit it with magic, but don't touch it if you can.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I'm gonna start trying to get up.
I was going to say, he didn't actually touch it last time. He just touched it with the magic that was touching him. He blew fire at it.
It's enough to make contact.
Yeah.
Mike, you know how you're a super combat genius? And you know how I ain't really here? I think I have one of your genius thoughts. Look,
Throw a rock at it, Rory.
that did not work for you.
Yes,
No.
just because I didn't hit it. Throw a rock at it. You might have better aim in Michael's brain.
No. Listen, I think I got a genius thought. I'm going to try and find it. The actual bloody center. And since I'm you just got to think real hard, and then you bloody found it, right? I'm going to search for the threads at the actual center of this large being to try and lay them out for Mike.
Roll weird -2 because you are feeling awful.
Okay. So +1 total, that is 10.
The center is Mike.
Rory, don't hit Mike.
The center where
All the threads converge. He's in control.
Mike.
There.
This
It's
is a weird game.
it's you. You're the center of the maelstrom. It's not there. That's not the power, it's you. You got the control of it.
Mike, have you been repressing something?
Too many to list right now.
Okay, but is it possible that you've been repressing something super useful? Like maybe the thing that it was telling you it needed to go see?
You don't want to go there.
I don't want to be here.
That's the only place where we can fight it. That's what Jason said.
Kind of seems like we have to.
It's deeper down.
I mean, we could also just attack you, but I don't think that's going to end up very well for anybody.
That's all we're accomplishing, because that's just a bunch of smoke.
You hear Jason's voice behind you all. I, for one, agree with the fictional dream people of your friends.
Like,
We're really saying this because you agree too. You just don't want to admit it.
Jason strides forward, and he looks different than he did in the memory. He looks a little bit more scruffy. He's well-dressed. Three-piece suit, goatee, adjusts his tie. I think they're right, Mike. I think you need to go as deep as it goes. It's where you're vulnerable mentally. I think that'll be where he's vulnerable.
you know what, Mike? None of this would be happening if you just went to therapy.
I did go to therapy more than once. Pretty sure one of the therapists was a succubus.
Men will literally fight
That's not a joke.
dream manifestations rather than go to therapy.
Oh.
I don't go to therapy anymore because my therapist was a psychologist. This is the best guy excuse ever. Okay,
That's
sorry.
rough, buddy.
Rude Edith again.
That's rough, buddy.
She managed to brainwash her father, so.
Oh yeah.
my
'cause
That Dr. Smith?
So you're the reason he came home and he was all weird and distant and never actually like did anything with us?
Well, the therapist, yeah.
Oh, the therapist that he went to because he was with you on that mission, right? That one?
Yeah.
The one
Like,
that you couldn't like do anything about, that you couldn't stop, that you let everybody die around you? That one?
Ooh, savage.
So it's your fault that my life is all messed up, and it's your fault that all of this has been cascading all around?
Ooh.
So if you're paying attention now, you notice that you don't hear the sounds of any waves washing against the shore anymore. It's still sandy, but you're starting to hear the sound of gunfire. And there's smoke.
Attaboy.
your therapist who's a succubus, your job, bloody us. It's all distractions, Mike. You gotta go down deep.
You see Michael, about a dozen other men, kind of huddled in a defensive formation. If you look around, you see scores of dead bodies, Marines that have been ripped to shreds. And the remaining dozen or so are in a small defensive posture. Two of them are being treated by one guy. Edith, you see your father there barking out orders, trying to keep people alive.
You guys should have made a deal with them. They always make deals.
No, they weren't looking for deals.
Did you ask?
You see one of the demons reach into the perimeter. He gets shot multiple times. It grabs somebody and just drags them off, screaming.
How did you find yourself here, Michael?
We were ordered to come here.
Order.
We were told to protect it from ISIS invaders, but
Walked into an abattoir.
I think we were sent here to be sacrifices.
Ah.
Why, I don't know.
And
Someone else made a deal with them. You could have done the same thing. All these guys would have been saved.
No, they needed to sacrifice humans.
were
That's
you
what-
in charge, Mike?
No, not of overall.
Tell me where it hurts being back here. Tell me why you won't talk about this with your friends. Tell me why you desperately didn't want to come back here. That's the key to hurting that thing.
You've seen men die before. A lot.
Not like this.
Special.
This was hundreds dying. We couldn't do anything about it. And then
Power.
afterwards,
Think about it.
we just sat there and for 3 days they dragged some of us off. We couldn't do anything.
But not you.
No, I was one of the 7 who survived.
7 out of hundreds. Boy, that's a bunch of shite, right? Why you?
I don't know.
What do you wish could have gone different, Michael?
Wish we'd never been ordered into that valley.
Yeah, but you were there. What do you wish would have happened there? What's different? What haunts you?
Wish we'd had some means of fighting back. If I did,
There you go.
this wasn't the first time I fought demons. I should have known. I should have believed the first 2 times. Maybe I could have saved more people.
So here you are, Mike. Listen to the screams, smell the smoke, feel the memory, feel the pain, and realize in this moment you're in control here. What do you take? What do you do? Come on.
I start handing out magazines with silver ammunition with hollow points with holy water in them.
There you go.
Dealt for the 240, like that.
And if you'd have had that equipment, if you'd have been able to produce that on a whim, what would have happened? Show us.
And they start actually having effect on the demons. Takes a lot more rounds than it would for a human, but after a magazine, all it takes to put down a demon, the 240 can start mowing them down.
There we have it. You believe, right, Michael? You're a believer, strong, had faith your whole life.
Well, I lost my faith for a while. This is what brought it back.
You can't go back in time and fix this. But what you can do is use the control you have over this place to take the weapons that would have vindicated you, to take your brain back. And he nods his head over to the group of men fighting, over to you. Take his gun, Michael.
I go grab it.
Take his gun. And now, and he quirks his head off the distance, you see a growing sandstorm on the horizon, but the sand is inky black. Go kill that thing.
I start walking towards it.
You walk towards it, and it's just you. You're all alone. And you notice the absence of your companions. They're gone. It's just you in a swirling haze of gritty, dark sand. And suddenly you sense that same presence. It's hard to see, but you know you're not alone again.
I gave you a chance to surrender, to work with me. You rejected it. I told you I'd destroy you. Now I will.
Hungry. I'm so hungry.
I can fix that. And just start putting rounds into it.
You turn and see yourself. Just a sick, haggard, skinny version of yourself with a distended belly. And it looks at you in surprise before its body starts to jerk with each round you fire, and you feel a surge of mental strength with each time you pull the trigger, and before you know it, it is toppling backwards and lying in a pool of blood, staring up at the desert sky as it soaks the sand around it. Hungry. And it says no more.
I look around, see if I can manipulate the surroundings.
How so?
Well, first, have it be grass instead of sand, because I hate sand.
You're in complete control here. You can make it anything. Suddenly you feel absolute power. You can make it anything you want.
Then I want to try to wake up.
Stepping out of nowhere, just manifesting into existence is the same vision of Jason. And that was badass. I got to give it to you. You did that all by yourself. Stared your worst memories in the face, took control of them, got something useful. I'm impressed, man. Might I give you some advice before I help you through this?
Sure.
Take a look down there. You look down at where the thing's body used to be and find it rapidly shriveling and turning into dream dust. And the dream dust blows away. But what's left is like just a little, the tiniest twinkle, tiniest spark of something. It looks like a jewel, but you know it's not. Pick it up.
Go ahead and pick it up.
You feel a blast of heat and a tingle and a warmth, and then it fades into your being. And you now have the power to, once a session, convert any projectile into holy damage. This place has impacts on the real world. Wouldn't surprise me that with a shard of eldritch power like that, at least what little left remained for you to claim, you'll be able to take what you did here back to the waking world with you. Probably not quite so potently, mind you, but I'd imagine you'll find use out of it. Would you like to wake up now? I'm sure your friends would like to see you.
I would.
He offers his hand.
Reluctantly take it.
You feel like a weird static tingle, and a pop. And then you surge to consciousness on the only remaining couch left standing in the haven, surrounded by your friends.
Oh, shit, he's awake.
Don't sit up. Or what do you do? How's your head?
It's all right. Oh, I think I'm okay.
Oh, thank God.
Are my
He
boots
did.
still on?
He did great in there. You should be proud of him.
Well, of course we're proud of him. Wait, you're still Jason?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's in the room.
Yeah, I know. He was doing the thing.
Yeah.
Mr. Connor, much respect to you. You displayed a lot of fortitude in there.
I had help from my friends.
Aw. Anyway, what's next? Chop chop, folks. We need to get moving.
Can we let him sit for like 1 minute?
He's fine. In fact, he's better than fine. You're feeling as good as you've ever felt, aren't you, Mike?
Am I?
You feel pretty good, actually. You feel pretty warm, pretty powerful.
Rose, I think you should tell him.
That seems fair. So while you were unconscious and dying, we
Emphasis on the dying.
you were dying. Like you were dead, practically dead.
Hmm?
We might have made a deal with Jason to help get you back and to save Thomas's life also.
Also to save Thomas's life and to stop whatever the Shattered King is. So it's fine.
In
Yeah,
their
it was kind of
defense,
a
Mike,
small thing.
in their defense, I had a lot of leverage.
All right, you don't have to be smug about it. Okay, you already won.
He didn't win. We can do one thing at a time.
You won this one encounter, not the whole thing.
What are the details of the agreement?
You work for me now.
Yep.
Only this time, I don't have to make you.
Well, I mean, technically, we didn't agree for Michael. We just agreed for us.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
only
but
won for us.
You really think I was going to be in his brain and leave a fail-safe to this little idea of mine?
Oh, you son of a bloody...
I'm sorry, you did
the
what?
worst person.
You let me in there. Sorry, my goals are too grand to allow for minor contingencies like your righteousness. I felt a little bit bad about messing around while I was in there, so I made sure that you got something out of it too. But try to pull that trigger on me, try to hurt me, try to directly interfere in something that I don't want done again. Well, the results will be pretty spectacular.
I am going to stand up and start walking out of the room, but I am going to pass by Rose on the way, and I'm going to put a finger in her face and say, I bloody told you.
He really did. But what choice did she have?
I walk out.
It's okay, Mr. Connor. You're still you. You just can't hurt me. I remember what you did to Alicia. I was impressed by the savagery. I couldn't take that risk.
Welcome
Smart move.
home.
It was, wasn't it? I figured you'd be proud in an obtuse and bizarre way. But as a token of our newfound friendship, I figure I can help you guys out, or maybe set you on a trail to do something that you'd like to do.
What's
That's
that?
not fair?
Tell
Oh, come
us,
on.
Mr.
Need
Jason.
buy-in.
What do you propose?
Attaboy. That's the sergeant calling the shots. So there are three things I need done at this juncture. And I was considering I put my put my eggs in a couple of different baskets, one of which is this basket currently. I'm thinking I'm going to use you lot to clean up my mess. I need you to find my associates, what remains of them anyway. You've already done a pretty good job of 2 of them. And send them to hell. Retrieve what they took. I'd like you to make it painful if you could, but understand that you want to be expedient with the whole thing. So I'm going to, leave methodology up to the experts.
Do you have any information on their whereabouts?
Oh, yes, indeed. The academic touring professor, he's teaching a guest lecture at your university this weekend, and I have it on good authority that he's planning on another break into the library to try to take texts that he thinks will protect him from me. Actually has a pretty good ward around him for high-level magics, the kind of stuff I could throw at him. I can't really, finger a got him. But folks on your level, I think, should have a pretty easy time wrong-footing him, retrieving the book he stole from me. It's called The Way, by the way, leather-bound tome. You'll recognize it when you see it. I want you to rub him out and bring that back. Does that sound fair? That's something y'all would want to do anyway? Last 2 of my old friends you encountered, you wiped off the map.
It was basically our plan, so yeah, that's fine.
Check on Thomas and she'll walk out.
Wait, Rose, what did you say?
She's gonna check
I said
on him.
she's gonna go check on Thomas and she'll kind of go.
And now I find myself with the 2 people who understand how the world works. So let me spell it out for you. Let me be plain. His life is in my hands. I can keep him reasonably healthy for as long as it takes for one of those little triplets to finish what they started, or I cannot. You try to screw me. You try to deviate from what I tell you to do. You try to take something I tell you to return to me. And the supply of my little one-time cure evaporates. And it won't take long before he has a lot in common with my first experiments. Capiche?
Yeah.
Fine.
And I feel that connection, psychic, metaphysical, between your friend Rose and him. If he falls, she'll go with him. So you kill who I tell you to kill, or you'll have to kill them before long. It's neat, isn't it? Clean? What do you think, Mike? You on board?
Don't seem to have any options.
I like him. And not just because I watched him just fight like a whole horde of dream demons. It was pretty badass. But I like him out here too, to be honest with you. Edith. Come on, Edith.
I already said yes. I said yes like 3 times, okay? What more do you want me to say? Do you want me to say I like your plan? Do you want me to say I like you? Do you want me to say I like the turn that this whole thing is taken?
No, I just want you to do this. This is amusing to me. You guys ended up giving me quite a bit of a headache. And I enjoy this. I hope it's frustrating. I hope it makes you mad. Don't fall afoul of me again. I'll be in touch. Without another word, he just turns and leaves.
Edith picks up a rock and throws it like 3 feet from his head.
By which she means
With your aim, you might actually hit him.
And he just looks back, winks at you, and leaves. And you guys are alone again. You can either have one final discussion or call it there for the week.
I kind of like to talk to everybody.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Still got it caught up a little bit.
Rose, Thomas is asleep. He took Jason's potion, though. His wicked fever seems to have broken, and his breath is a little stronger. And he's got a little more color in his face. But he ran out of gas. It hit him like the strongest nighttime cold medicine. He's out.
She'll just kind of sit with him quietly unless somebody comes over to call her for talking.
I'm going to come over and check on Thomas, take his vitals. So what happened while I was out? Last thing I knew, I cut the tentacle sucker off of Murder Thomas.
We were losing. And Thomas was dying, and you were dying. And Jason showed up and made everything so that we were not dying.
Long and short of it,
Yeah.
honestly, there's not that much missing. It's bad, and then he showed up, and we were not going to win any fight.
But he wants the Shattered King gone, and the Shattered King is probably worse.
Maybe.
And we can't fight the Shattered King by ourselves.
I think Jason's scared of the Shattered King,
Yeah.
and he should be.
Oh
The
yeah,
Shattered-
bloody Thomas. We've seen what he can do.
The Shattered King really wants to destroy him, which I don't have a problem with.
But he might also destroy reality.
Yeah.
So
He hasn't up until now. You know, everybody gets it in their head. They see something big and scary and strong, and they think, we gotta bloody kill it. We gotta do something to it. We gotta hold it down or control it or whatever before it gets us. When it ain't done nothing. It's existed for probably longer than any of us, me included, were able to count or track time. And it's been fine.
but remember what Jason told us? And it wasn't just Jason, it was also Dr. Miller. This thing coming over here, it's not supposed to exist here.
Oh, it should be back home.
It's what he wanted to use to kill the gods, whatever that means.
Well, from what I remember, Jason brought it over here when he realized how big it was. He sliced off a part of it. That's what started this whole thing. Now, it's possible the Shattered King will destroy our reality because it now knows that humans can affect it. But just because it might destroy us isn't going to be reason for us to destroy it. It never even took notice of us until Jason tried bringing it over here.
I don't think you guys understand like how bad something from the Feywilds can be here.
I do.
It's not that they're bad, it's that they're completely amoral. They don't care.
And if
And
it,
Rory, you're different.
if it doesn't want
Right.
to kill us, I don't think it has reason to kill us other than fear of what we might do to it. Which it seems to understand us enough to know we don't really want to have anything to do with it. We just
It's literally Tom. It is as capable of being that as whatever the fuck was eating you up.
The thing that took my sister is the same genus as this thing, and it was small.
But those things regularly interact with our world. The Shattered King hasn't interacted with our world for
That we
millennia.
know of,
Doesn't even seem to have taken notice of us.
but now he has.
That's the problem. He knows we're here, and he's made it very clear he intends to be here too.
And if he wins, he takes Thomas.
It's not a great choice.
He takes all of Thomas.
We're acting like this is two separate things.
if Jace, in his complete disregard for morality, can rip off a part of this thing and create Thomas, I gotta believe that there's a way we can give the Shattered King what he wants while letting Thomas remain Thomas. If we work together and use magic in a constructive way, it's at least worth considering.
All I know is right now we're locked in. And I meant what I said before. I'm going with whatever way the group went. And you made your choice. And I'm along. Don't expect me to like it, but I'm along. All I know is, for all we all know, we're also talking to Jason right now.
I'm going to take the chance that he's not listening to us right now because he's pretty high on himself.
I agree.
Rory, I want you to tell me if I know anything's possible magic, but just if this sounds reasonable. You put up a magic shield around this place so no one can penetrate it and see what's going on. And then underneath that, when Jason eventually breaks through your magical shield, which he will, have an artificial intelligence created type thing where whoever pierces that veil protecting us sees us in here talking about inane stuff, not what we're actually talking about, not what we're actually doing. Is that possible?
Rory, roll weird.
Good. 8, 9, 10, 11. Roll a lot of 11s.
You are talking about a absolutely spectacular sleight of hand illusion spell involving shield work and a ward and a trigger and some very sophisticated glamours and illusions. But if you could find the right component parts, the right component spells, and you had the time and the luck, yeah, you could do that.
My guess is months of effort, and we need to be very precise. And I don't know, we'd need like something a little more rare than Eye of Newt. But sure, yeah, whatever. Give me like half a year.
Here's the thing. We needed to take out Jason's lieutenants anyway. They're no good. So let's just get it done.
Yes.
Sure, yeah, I'm just hoping that Mike likes being a contract killer better than a soldier is all.
If getting on that point, there are security cameras all over Felton University where this guy's going to be. Can we magically, I know anything's possible, but just, is this reasonable? Can we hack into those camera systems magically so we can access them from our computer? Instead of hacking into the camera system from our computer, magically hack into the camera system and then access from our computer. So he would have to have protections from every camera on campus, which seems not to be feasible. There are cameras everywhere.
Rose, roll weird for this one.
It's going to be a 9.
You remember, just from some of your various past exploits and stuff like your date with Thomas and your time in the ghost house, that magic and technology don't really mix that well.
I don't
know. I mean, it could happen. I don't know if it would happen well.
Okay.
It'd be easier to set up independent reconnaissance and spells that are designed to monitor things and watch them than it would be to hack in.
I got a better idea. Why don't we just have Rory change shape into somebody who doesn't exist and shoot him?
I don't think if we locate him, we can kill him pretty easily. It might be good to question him first, find out what kind of ward he has that's preventing Jason from getting to him. That kind of information would be good to know.
That's actually fair.
Why doesn't Jason just unmake him or something? He does this all the time. We've seen how strong he is. He can.
Apparently, whatever wards he has are powerful enough. I think he has powerful enough wards that it would be inconvenient for Jason. If he really put his mind to it, he could do it. But he's. I get the feeling he doesn't like having to exert that kind of power. He doesn't feel like he shouldn't have to.
For something.
Yeah. If we photograph all the pages of the book, is that enough to be able to for you to be able to read it? Do we need to actually have a magical copy?
Books
Depends on the
magical.
book.
What's
Wait.
that?
I said that depends on the book. Rory would know that.
Yeah. I mean, some things just tell you how to do magic, and some things are magic.
Well, before we give it back to Jason, I want to get as good a copy of the Way book as we can. Because if it has stuff in there Jason doesn't want people to know, we need to know it.
Well, I'm not going to cover it, give it an
Not so much for me, but
Guys, there's nothing we can do tonight if Jason didn't give us a clock,
all right.
and this sucks.
I got to run one errand real quick, and then I'll be back. Are you guys staying here now? Or are you going back to your house?
I think our house is destroyed, so I think we're
Oh,
staying
that's
here.
right. I'll go take the van. Oh wait, no. Yes,
Sorry.
You can take my car.
Okay. I'll be back in about an hour.
Okay.
If I don't text you about an hour, just use the Find My Phone app, and Rory, you might want to come find me.
Hey, Mike, could I walk you out, maybe?
Sure.
I'm really sorry.
Don't worry
I had
about
no idea he could even do that, and I cannot believe that he did.
it. You were put in a difficult situation. You made the best choice you could. Don't feel bad about it.
Probably will, but I just wanted to make sure you knew in case some other world-ending nonsense happens.
There's also, he thinks he's safe from me now because I'll die if I try to kill him. But I don't think he understands there are people who are willing to sacrifice themselves to do what needs to be done.
Okay, but don't, because you
I'm
can't die. If you
just-
die, this thing will literally fall apart.
It's not my first option, don't worry.
Okay. Be safe, bud. We'll be
Okay.
here.
Okay. I'll be back in a little bit. And then
All right.
I drive down to the Russian club.
Okay. What do you want to do there? And this will be our last scene of the evening. What do you want to do down
I
there?
walk up to the bouncer and say, I'd like to talk to the manager. By the manager, I mean whoever the highest level person I can talk to wants to talk to me is here. I'm a friend of the person who busted up Baba Java.
You just woke up here and throw that in my face, expect things to happen?
I'm here to give information. I'm not here to threaten. I'm not here to even make any a deal. I just would like to talk to somebody would probably be interested in talking to me.
Any other day I would probably take you out back and shoot you in the back of the head. But these are weird enough times that I think we need the friends. Go on back, da.
Thank you.
He just lets you in.
All right.
And kind of indicates like the back of the club where there's a pretty ornate kind of like lounge like area where dude in a suit, middle-aged, gray hair, gray beard, sort of, good-looking, sharp-dressed guy, but kind of in a hard-living sort of way, is nursing a bottle of vodka and just kind of staring at the club goers impassively.
I walk up to him. Hello, I'm a friend of the individual busted up Baba Java. I have some information you might like to know.
Yeah. I'm sorry, you're a friend?
Yes.
I tell you, the information that I want to know is, why are people taking shots at my business, huh? Particularly individuals who can bench press a bus.
Well, he has a very strong sense of justice, and there's a certain professor who filled him with drugs that caused him to lose any sort of restraint he might have had.
Meth. There's always meth these days.
No, it was a designer drug. I actually believe you know this individual. I think you've worked with her, but I think, like a lot of her subjects, you weren't fully aware of what she was doing.
Go on.
She's a professor of quantum chemistry at the university. I think you know what I'm talking about? Yes. She seemed to like the idea that you were put out of business because it tied up some loose ends for her.
So she designs product for me and is 2 times me. Sets me up for failure. Some psychotic Superman knockoff on my business. Is that what you are presenting?
Not. I don't know if that was her intention the whole time, but she certainly liked the outcome, and she had no intention of being careful with what she did.
What do you get out of this, stranger? You give me this information, I take it, I use it. Make her disappear, maybe. Make her pay. What you do? You take over trade?
No.
You have new product? You won't hit streets, huh?
No. You know anything about me and my friends, we're not. That's not what we're like. I just thought she has taken advantage of people and not given them complete information. Not just you, but innocent students who thought they were just signing up for a drug trial, and she's reckless with people's lives. I don't have any illusions about what you do, that you're a good person or anything like that, but I do think you're more careful with civilians. You don't target, you don't recklessly endanger people's lives.
Recklessly endanger? No. They could give you a rat's ass about the safety of the average civilian, but I do not like making waves, is true, yeah?
Yeah, I think you have more. I think you're more cautious than she is in that regard. I also know you're probably not going to change your ways. So at least have one fewer individual out there causing harm.
What do you want in exchange for this information, stranger?
Nothing.
You just come and charitably give tip out of goodness of heart?
I have an idea what you might do with the information, but it's up to you. I don't expect you to do anything. I don't expect anything in return.
Well, I tell you this. We've been looking into the good professor for, well, about a week now. Things aren't adding up. She's evasive, takes too much money. So I will verify what you have told me today. If I find out that your tip is good, I'll do what needs to be done, and we will say I owe you one, yes? And if I find out that the tip is bad and you're trying to use me as a weapon, I'll kill you and everyone you care about. Fair?
I am being honest with you, and don't threaten my friends.
I do not trust men like you. I see the calluses on your fingers where you have used the weapons. You are a worthy foe, but you are a foe. A good man is always my enemy. But the enemy of my enemy can be my friend just this once.
That's kind of my philosophy right now, also.
I will check. I will check on your tip. If it works out and my investigation confirms that she had been misappropriating my product to create weapons against my business and to destabilize my community,
Wouldn't
I
say that
owe
was
you
her.
a favor.
Wouldn't say that was her intention, but she didn't have any problem with it once it happened.
Impact over intent. Okay,
You have a good night.
get out of my club.
I turn around and leave.
And that is where we will call it tonight. All right, folks. That's it for tonight. We will see you next week. Thank you for joining us again. Stuff's about to hit the fan.
Brrr.
Have a good night.
Everyone's doing things they don't like.